Hi everyone, we're going to talk today about understanding text structure and analyzing a passage to understand more about how the author has used the structure. So we're going to read a quick passage together. As we're reading, you have two things to think about. The first is, what is the author's main point? The second thing you want to be thinking about is, how is the author making his point by using the structure of the text? So again, these are the two things that you're going to think about. I'll read it out loud and you should follow along on the next slide. You already know that there are major differences between a house and a nest. In contrast to a house, a nest is small and only has one room. Another difference is that a house is typically for humans while a nest is for birds. However, you might be surprised to find out that nests and houses have some things that are the same. For instance, both nests and houses provide shelter. Another similarity is that both use trees in their construction. Birds use sticks and twigs while humans use lumber from trees. Last, they are alike because they both take up space, although a house usually takes up more space than a nest. After reading this passage, again, our first question was, what is the author's point? Knowing that the main idea here is going to be something about a house and a nest, I'm really going to focus on, okay, so we have a lot of information about nests. We have a lot of information about houses. I'm inferring that the author's purpose here, what he really wants me to understand, is he just wants me to know more about houses and nests. My next question is, what specifically does the author want me to know? And that's when I start looking at the text structure. So there are some keys here about the specific structure of the text, and I'm going to highlight some of them for you. So here we see a lot of discussion of, here are some differences. We see in contrast. We see things that are the same. We use the word both. We have similarity, or that they're alike. These ideas, by contrasting and showing how a house and a nest are different, and how they're the same, or what similarities they share, that indicates to me that the author is using a compare and contrast text structure. Because specifically he's using a compare and contrast text structure, that helps me know that the idea that I should be looking for here is not just some information about houses and nests, it's really looking for the distinct ways that a house and a nest might be different and how a house and a nest might be similar. And again, I know this because of the specific words that he uses. So overall, when I'm walking away from this text, I want to focus on, okay, so what are the ways in which they're the same? What are the ways in which they're different? And we have a lot of details about this. So I know that the ways that they're different, is that humans use houses, birds use nests, they're different sizes. I'm also learning that they have some things that are the same. Both of them provide shelter. We also know that they both have some kind of tree or some kind of wood involved in construction, usually. We also know that they both take up space. So those are the main points that support our understanding about both houses and nests. And again, we've learned these details because we see them put right next to each other in a compare and contrast text structure. So overall, what you should take away from this presentation is that when we're looking for text structure and when we're analyzing a text for its structure, we're focusing on the main idea first, and then we're going to specify what we should learn about that main idea based on the text structure. And we can find out what the text structure is by looking at these specific indicator words or signal words. That might be different for a compare and contrast. It might differ for a cause and effect. It might be a little bit different if we're just describing or if we're talking about a problem and a solution. So all of these text structures have slightly different signals or slightly different indicators, but based on that text structure, I can really narrow down what information I should be taking away from the text. If you have any questions about how we use text structures or what the text structures that we're talking about are, you can go back to any of the other resources on this playlist, find out more information, so that you can prepare and be really ready when you take the content.